How are your feelings toward the upper levels of the organization, Nico in particular, or the decision to trade you?
Well, that's their decision, so I have no comment on that. They made the decision. I don't know why. But that's their decision, so I can't do nothing about it.
2 years ago, I put out a video titled "The Man Secretly Destroying the Dallas Mavericks." And obviously I was talking about Mark Cuban. This organization has a disgusting history of treatment within their own stars, under old management and obviously now new management. Let me detail precisely how bad this organization has been, literally with some of the greatest Dallas Mavericks ever. Mark Cuban said his biggest regret being the Dallas Mavericks owner was losing Steve Nash. And when I look at how cold-blooded this organization has been to their own, it kind of makes me want to root against them. Steve Nash wanted to return back to Dallas in 2004, and when he got his max offer from Phoenix, he took it back to Mark Cuban hoping he'll match it. And Mark Cuban basically looked at him like he was damaged goods. According to the ESPN report back then, they had concerns about this man being able to play 32 minutes a night. Directly after leaving Dallas, some way, somehow, this man played the most minutes of his career with Phoenix year after year after year. He got 4 of the extremely rare 50, 40, 90 seasons directly after leaving Dallas. He won 2 MVPs directly after leaving Dallas. And that very same guy was once on their roster, really asking for a contract to come back. Tyson Chandler was a very significant piece to Dallas winning their only championship in 2011. After he helps them win their only championship ever, they don't bring him back and instead chase free agents that literally don't even want to play for them. Then that's not even the worst part. They bring him back 3 years later. He averages a double-double for them. They win 50 games. And they do it again.
Hours before he's expected to officially sign with the Mavericks, DeAndre Jordan is reportedly having second thoughts.
This team put all their chips into getting DeAndre Jordan, while Tyson Chandler was literally grinding in their uniform, didn't get him, and then let Tyson Chandler walk. The fact that Tyson Chandler even came back to help Derek Lively is very commendable given their history. This seems to be what this weird organization does. And if Dirk never sacrificed like this, who knows how his career would have looked? Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. The NBA is in mid-season form, and there's really no better time to see your favorite players live. I went to go see 2 of my favorite players, Giannis versus LaMelo, and personally, I had a blast. And if you want a similar experience, well, SeatGeek has the perfect deal for you. Everyone can use my promo code Swishout15 to get 15% off of any tickets on SeatGeek. SeatGeek literally does all the hard work for you, rating their own tickets on a scale from 1 to 10. The greener the dots are, that means you're getting a great deal for your buck, and they'll let you know that. The yellow to orange red ones, well, not so much. Also, this isn't just sports. This can be anything. Concerts, sports, festivals, really you name it. Also, what I love is every ticket is backed by their buyer's guarantee, so you can feel pretty confident securing your spot. It doesn't matter how many times you've used SeatGeek before. Everyone can use my promo code Swishout15 and get 15% off of their next order, whether you're new or not. The NBA season is going by fast, so take advantage. This is for a limited time only.
Yeah, at that point, I just chose next.
We were like, give us a range. What's the number? We put up a number. They said too low. And then they were like, well, where do we need to be? We were hoping we'd have a home court advantage, right? He'd been here, 4 years, at least give us that opportunity. And then when it came down to it and it looked like you were going to go to the Knicks, so it was like, well, really the only number that's going to make it work is a max out contract. And that was the last of it.
Yeah.
If you don't get anything from this video, please, please, please get this. The Dallas Mavericks, they finished minimum in 3 conference finals 3 times in their last 15 years. In 2011, they won the NBA Finals, as we all know. In 2022, they made the conference finals. And last year, they made the finals. Every single year they made these finals. The following season, they lost one of their core pieces and never even got a chance to run it back, essentially because of money. In 2011, it was Tyson Chandler. In 2022, it was Jalen Brunson. And now it's Luka Doncic. How can your fans even trust the organization when literally every single time you see a smidget of success, you basically dismantle the team for greed? Tyson said he feels like that team goes back to back if they never got broken up, and he should feel that way. The disgusting part to me is every single time they get rid of one of their biggest pieces, it always has to do with money. Mind you, this is an organization that struggles significantly to attract stars. And it's like the NBA gods always sends them one or two or three, and they repay them by treating them like trash. The Dallas Mavericks literally cost this guy over $100 million in earnings simply because they traded him before he signed that Supermax contract. And look at everything he's done for that organization. I said this in my last video, but I really want to emphasize this point. From the time they won that championship in 2011, all the way up until the time they got Luka, they were dead ass the team that constantly got to the playoffs, yet they did nothing once they got there. That's how Dirk ended his career. Out of anybody that played at least 20 playoff games, they had the worst winning percentile there. With all due respect to Dirk, this man right here quite literally had the greatest 6-year window in the Dallas Mavericks jersey, and it's not even close. Their most point per game seasons. Luka's only been there for 6 years, and he occupies 5 of their top 6 years. Their most assists per game seasons. Mind you, they had Jason Kidd and Steve Nash, and Luka occupies 5 of their top 10. Luka Doncic now, he's played in 50 playoff games. That's a pretty large sample size, yet he's only behind Michael Jordan in playoff point per game averages. I'm sorry, there's no free agent ever that can ever achieve what that guy did, yet he wasn't safe. How can anybody ever trust this organization ever? I've literally heard some people say they didn't want to pay this man a Supermax deal because if he's fat and lazy and immobile and all this stuff now, imagine what he will be once he gets spoiled and you pay him a fat ass contract. Respectfully, that applies to Zion Williamson. That applies to guys like Ben Simmons. Luka Doncic literally just got a fat ass contract 3 years ago. And what has he done since? He's played 3 years so far. In said years, he's made a conference finals, he's averaged 34, 9, and 9, and then he made an NBA finals. In the last 3 years, there's been 2 #1 seeds that failed in the West to even make the conference finals. Why? Well, because they met that guy. In the last 3 years, mind you, this is on that contract that fat, lazy, immobile guy is on currently. He's on this deal, and this is everything he's done under this contract. I can actually argue that he's damn near broken up 4 significant teams in the West. In 2022, they beat Utah. The following year, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, they were gone. The next round, they literally broke Phoenix. They were never the same after that. The following season, they broke up their core. Last year, they beat the Clippers, and now Paul George is a Philadelphia 76er. In Minnesota, they beat and broke them in the Western Conference Finals, and now Karl Anthony Towns is a New York Knick. You're telling me now the boogeyman got moved? I've literally heard reporters say the Dallas Mavericks are now prioritizing Kyrie Irving's timeline. Kyrie Irving is small, and Kyrie Irving is almost 33 years old. With all due respect to Kyrie, because he's been great in Dallas, but you don't trust Luka, reportedly on a Supermax contract. But do you remember how you even got Kyrie? The only reason y'all got him, especially for the price y'all got him, is because nobody trusted Kyrie. You essentially got him on a bargain because of how he was on his last contract, yet the guy that's outliving the contract currently, you don't trust that guy. I really hope Nico Harrison understands. Kyrie's a free agent this summer. You quite literally took all the power out of a 25-year-old in his prime that's actually shown you he's worth everything and gave it all to Kyrie Irving. Literally nobody, no free agent, no draftee, nobody should ever trust this organization ever. And you've given them exhibit A, B, C, and D as to why. If you guys like this video, like I said, the dumbest trade ever. I'm never, ever going to wrap my mind around this because it makes no sense. I'm not even a Mavericks fan, and I'm pissed for them. Follow my social media sites, turn on post notifications, do all that great stuff, guys. And until next time, as always, stay tuned.